Greetings, engineer, and welcome to Factorio Mod Tips. In this episode, we're checking out Plutonium Energy by John the Cooling Fan. Plutonium Energy introduces 2 new types of reactors, 3 new types of nuclear fuel, 2 new liquids, and a couple of new items and toys. Plutonium Energy introduces a new loop into the nuclear power production that requires more than just reprocessing the spent uranium nuclear cells. As always, the loop starts out with processed uranium-235, 238 combined into a fuel cell and spent in a normal nuclear reactor. These still have a neighbor bonus of 100%. The new step then introduces MOX fuel, mixed oxides. First, you take the spent fuel cells and reprocess them with sulfuric acid to make uranium waste solution, which is then spun in a centrifuge to produce 8 to 10 uranium-238, 3 to 6 plutonium-238, and 2% plutonium-239. The plutonium-238 can be combined with the uranium-238 to make a MOX fuel cell. This is spent in a MOX reactor, which has a power output of 20 megawatts but an insane 150% neighbor bonus. The MOX fuel cell has 3 gigajoules of usable energy stored, and when spent can be mixed with more uranium-238 to create a breeder fuel cell. The breeder fuel cell has 10 gigajoules of usable energy and can be spent in a massive breeder reactor. It outputs 20 megawatts and only has a 50% neighbor bonus. And this is where the magic happens. Once spent, it can be reprocessed into plutonium-rich nuclear waste solution. Extracting the solids from this solution in a centrifuge then rewards you with 4 plutonium-238 and 2 plutonium-239. The plutonium-239 has 5 different crafts. You can either make it into 200 gigajoules worth of energy cells that can be spent in a normal reactor, mix it with 19 uranium-238 to make 2 breeder fuel cells, or even better, mix 1 plutonium-239 with 10 depleted uranium fuel cells to make 4 breeder cells, that each can be made into 1 plutonium-239 through the reprocessing of the plutonium-rich nuclear waste. The plutonium-238 can be made into more MOX fuel cells, used in the creation of plutonium fuel cells, or made into ammo, either plutonium rounds or plutonium cannon shells. If you choose to make the plutonium fuel cells, they can be reprocessed themselves for a 1% chance to yield the plutonium-239 and a guaranteed 4 plutonium-238. And finally, the MOX fuel cells can be used to make a portable fission reactor, which can also be made from 1 plutonium fuel cell, or you can use the plutonium-239 to make plutonium atomic artillery shells, which pack quite an enormous punch. Thank you so much for tuning in to Factorio Mod Tips, Engineer, and I hope to catch you next time.